Hello, Cancers. Hello, welcome. Happy New Year. For those of you who are first time since the new year, welcome. My name is Patti. I'm an empath that is going to be doing your intuitive tarot for the 4th through the 10th of January, and I'm also an intuitive coach. So if you are interested in intuitive coaching, spiritual coaching, sort of like a spiritual counseling kind of a thing, then you can book an appointment down below. However, I'm going to be making an announcement through a video that I'm going to be doing a week of free. Well, it's mostly free all the time anyway. I can't charge for something that's a gift. It's really hard for me to do that. But I am going to book people that are going through struggles, challenges, book challenges or struggles or have problems that they just need a little bit of divine encouragement. I'll be booking those. So I'll let you know here shortly. If you haven't liked, subscribe, and hit the bell. Oh, crap. If you haven't hit the bell that will tell you when you're notified, you might want to do that now while I pick up the cards. So, oh my goodness, I hate when that happens. I am going to reshuffle, make sure they're all upright, because sometimes even Divine moves them upside down anyway. So that you can actually, this is a new deck too, for those of you that haven't seen it before. I love it. It is the Wisdom of Avalon. My daughter gave that to me for Christmas. So if you haven't seen it, this is a new deck. So when decks are new, they're a little sticky, but I have shuffled and used these but sometimes they just seem to like to stick. So what happens, for those of you new, I am going to pull an oracle that is the current energy and the future energy. I may pull an oracle at the end for the universe to see what's going on also there. But most of the time I use current energies and forward energies because we do not want to go backwards, past kind of a thing, because time is an illusion, and it's just something that doesn't really exist. We just make it exist. Anyway, so I'm going to pull the current energies, which is, interesting, the dog. So the dog is actually the number 10 or 1 in numerology. And that actually is the beginning and the ending of something. Oh, man. These cards, I shuffle and shuffle, but this week they have been coming up the same. The second card out, future card out, has been coming up the same. It's either 2 cards. It's either the hawk, which is about omen and messages, or it's disruption. And disruption, we think, oh gosh, it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. We'll go into that here in a few minutes. But and I also got to get downloads to see what's going on with this energy. So the main energy out, though, is the dog. And the dog is about loyalty, sincerity, unconditional love. Something that I don't think us humans are... we say we want unconditional love, but unfortunately, a lot of the times it's because of our expectations. It is really hard to have unconditional love. If we can release the expectations, then we most likely can get unconditional love. And I explain that in Get Balanced 2020, and I'll probably go through that here if it comes up, and I'll explain what I mean by that here shortly. But it's also about loyalty, and loyalty comes from truth. What do I say with the divine? Now, if you missed the New Year's Day, we had an hour of fun, had a lot of people come on, but we talked about all kinds of things, and the divine and spirit and some supernatural and paranormal kind of stuff. But the thing is that divine is about love and truth, number 1. Truth and number 1, because the first minute somebody lies to you, they've ruined your trust, they've ruined the loyalty. They begin to speculate and wonder how much of what you talk about is true, and that kind of a thing. And sincerity, people look at that as, oh, you know how you used to sign the letter, sincerely, Patty, is like, really, it's very sort of a cold kind of thing. But when your heart is into it, then it's very sincere. Oh gosh, that was just so sincere. When somebody passes on, we really truly give somebody our condolences, because we don't want to go through that pain. And if we've been through that pain, we understand. So we want to be sincere. We want to be heartfelt. When it's not heartfelt, you're like, yeah, whatever, kind of a thing, right? So first card out is, yeah, definitely the Seven of Wands. Now, for this first part of January, a lot of communication has been coming up. A lot, because a lot of what we do is through communication, and 67% of our communication doesn't come through verbally. That's why when you book an appointment with me, I don't demand anything, because it depends on people's budget and their abilities, but it is 99.9% I want a visual of something, FaceTime, Zoom, WhatsApp, whatever, because that is 67% of how you communicate with me. Not only as that, but as an empath, is more than 67%. So, and that's how I read. I can read a lot, being an empath. So the thing is that communication is being misconstrued somewhere. I guess I have to explain this. So they're wanting me to explain, and you may have heard this before, that expectations, if you can get rid of expectations, and just go with the flow, or understand what perceptions are, you will make your life 100 million times easier. Because when you have expectations, so it's a formula that I share. So expectations plus reality equals an outcome, feeling, or emotion. So if I, so Christmas just passed. So if I give a present to somebody, I give it because I give it because I want to. I don't expect anything in return. I just don't. If I don't want to give something, I don't. If I want to give something, I give it out of love or want, right? But if I expect something in return, then, and that would be the reality part plus, because that's another person's thought, that's another person's everything. Okay, so that is, I can't control that. So maybe they don't believe in Christmas, and they don't believe in giving Christmas gifts back. So if I expect that person to give it back to me, but the reality is they're not going to give me one, then I'm disappointed. I'm sad. I'm like, really? Do they really even care about me? About okay, so we're looking at two different perspectives. So you have to understand, in communicating, this is where you're having problems, or somebody's having problems. I don't know who this is for. However, if you just take the expectation out of it and ask questions to get clarity and get their perspective, doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but you will understand where they're coming from. And then the outcome of your feelings is actually, cool, I agree to disagree, or, oh, now I get it. So that's where we have a lot of disruption in our communications, is that we do not take the time to understand the other person's perspective. We're so busy listening, but then all of a sudden we want to interact. Oh, yeah. We're so busy thinking about our thought, rather than stopping, putting that thought off for a minute, and really listening to what they have to say. Because again, if you're paying attention, if you're having active listening, then you will be able to see what they say. All right. But again, when we do not, then we get, yeah, and that'll bring you out with this outcome, definitely, for somebody. For somebody, the Ten of Cups, this is about the communication is wonderful. The loyalty will be there. The understanding, being as some face are equally yoked. You will have the same morals, the same values, the same. You'll understand. It's like in dating. You should be able to know within the first date or two if you actually should move forward with that person. So we then have the high priestess. The high priestess is about your spiritual side. It's, again, integrity, loyalty, understanding, being equally yoked. And do you believe in the same spiritual things as that other person? And what are your spiritual beliefs? A lot of the times we begin and the spirit. Okay, thank you. So they wanted me to share because they said, look at the dog, unconditional love. Okay, it's unconditional love. And then they said, look at the high priestess. That's me. That's not me. That's what they said. That's who I am. Unconditional love. Spirit. Period. That's who I am. Unconditional love. So when they had me, it's sometimes I can't speak it, what I see and hear and that kind of stuff, but that's what they're saying. I am unconditional love. Spirit. God. Creator. Whoever you call. And I'll tell you, he is. I have gone through so much, and he's so patient, loving, and kind. And I could go through the miracles that he's just given me. Oh my gosh. I have to write these down because my daughter and I talk about them. She just sits there and goes, I can't believe that happened. I'm like, I can. But you know what? It takes a lot of getting to know spirit. All right? It does. You have to, yeah, and it is work. It is work. For somebody, I don't know who this is for, somebody is going to have somebody close to them. This is, I don't know, in the coming week or if it just happened or, and I'm sorry it would have happened to you in the first of the year because that's pretty shitty. But the thing is that somebody may have lost their job or somebody may have a disruption in their work, maybe a layoff or a furlough, or maybe even if it's just a couple of weeks, because it does bring money situations. Sort of, like, okay, now I really got to hunker down. I really got to. But there is somebody there that really wants to hold and support you and lift you up. I don't know who that's for, but there is a disruption in your work. For somebody, the communication is a disruption in your relationship with a partner. But if you work through that and be honest and be loyal, yeah, definitely, that it'll all work out just fine. It will be, that'll actually bring you closer, much, much closer. Once you can share and speak it out, it'll open another door that like wasn't there, wasn't allowed. All right. Ooh. Thought I saw another one. Did I see another one? All right, Cancers. So we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes. So we have some pentacles going on in here. So there's going to be maybe an opportunity, or like I said, there might be a disruption in work, but this is actually a good thing because it's going to bring you to something better and higher. Now, it might be a disruption in work. Thank you. So they're saying it could be a disruption in work where you go from one level to another. That's another disruption. Another disruption is saying if you're going to go from a level entry and now you're moving to maybe a supervisor position, that can be a disruption. It's a change. Disruption can just mean change. Also, there can also be disruptions to your focus on your journey to where you're supposed to be going. So you have to be really mindful. However, this one isn't. I don't believe so because you've got the World and you've got the 10 of Cups. So I believe that this disruption is a good disruption, not either to make you think, but also to make sure that you're moving in the direction of spirit and not earth. Because it says the dog is unconditional love. It is loyalty. So this is a good thing. Sometimes we think, okay, yeah, I got to be loyal to this company. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because there is no loyalty. In the United States, loyalty, they don't care. I mean, it's very rare you find a company that really will do everything to hold on to you, because it's not that they don't care, it's just they're too busy to, they've got to keep production going, they have to keep sales going, they have to keep everything going. If you're going to leave, they have to replace you. You're irreplaceable. So that's why when I say loyalty, but that's why when you're loyal to spirit, that is key. That is loyalty to God or creator. I'm not going to say universe, because universe is all about frequencies, but if to your creator, of whoever that is to you, really, that's where you need to go. There's never a disruption there. There's never inconsistencies. There's never unloyalty there. So there's an offering there. And again, remember, if I haven't mentioned this, 2021's card for the year is the Hierophant. Hierophant is all about spirituality, teaching of spirituality. People are going to thrive this year on wanting to know more about spiritual, how to get closer. It's going to be an interesting journey, because it's going to be all about growing more faith-based. And I'm not talking about religion. Okay, I'm talking about faith-based in a creator, a God, how they can get closer, how they can have a better relationship, how they can listen to their intuition, because intuition is spirit. That's where this is going. And also, too, you've got the Six of Wands, which is all about self-accomplishment, So this communication that struggles that you're going through, all this communication struggles, you will make it and you will figure it out, or you'll better your communication or your listening skills. A lot of the time, people don't even know how to be an active listener. And if you learn how to be an active listener, then you can have awesome communication, awesome conversations. So for somebody, this is going to be a reward. And they're going to watch you. They're going to like, wow, she's changing. He's changing. Look at how he's, wow, he's really paying attention. He's really listening. He's really being sincere. And he's really communicating in love or she's communicating in love rather than earth. So very big difference in the way that we make our choices. If you're making a choice through spirit or making choice through earth, very, very big difference. But oops, this time it is actually it is a celebration of victory. And then what is going to happen for this person, I don't know who this is that they're going to get excited and want to learn more. They're going to want to learn more how to do it. It's like going to be like that little fire inside you that begins to grow. And before you know it, you'll have a bonfire because you're so excited and passionate about what you're doing. And it does take strength. This does take strength for somebody to do, because it's moving out of your box. It's moving out of your comfort zone. And it is a very big disruption, because here's the thing, when you learn new skills or new ways to do things, especially what's going on here, people may like you, people may not. And that's where fear sets in. Are you living out of love or fear? If you're living out of love, you'll keep doing it for yourself in your journey. If you're living out of fear, you're like, oh, so-and-so, we've been friends for 30 years. What are they going to think if I tell them or share or whatever. Well, if they've been friends for 30 years and you've been faking it all this time, yeah, they might be a little, wondering, what's going on with her? Is she's going crazy or what? Whatever it is. Or they might see, wow, this is a new you. This is really, really good. This is what you're doing. Awesome. That takes strength to come out and share with your friends, your family, of whoever you are, especially communicate who you are and how you are. But it actually is going to bring you rewards, because it's going to bring love, unconditional love. Because if you think that they can't see some of the fakiness, like you're holding back or you're really guarded, there's a reason. Maybe it's trauma, maybe it's fear, maybe it's whatever. However, if you think people can't see that, then you're only fooling yourself. And then you're being deceitful to yourself and being deceitful to them. So the divine will keep you stuck until you do that. Okay, and I know just from experience, I'm older than a lot of you guys. So not only from experience, but wisdom that the divine has shown me. And let me tell you, when you do that, when you find a new way to communicate that you can be understood, again, the expectations plus reality equals an outcome. It can make a disruption. It can actually bring things together, bring closer. It can make people a lot more closer. Most of the time it is bringing you closer. I would say 9 times out of 10. If it doesn't, if it pushes somebody away, they're not meant to be there right now. However, this will bring you closer to spirit because you're then walking in truth and love and unconditional love because you're loving yourself and unconditional to yourself first, if that makes sense. All right. Because remember, I'm going to go back. The main energy for this week is loyalty, sincerity, and unconditional love. And that comes to you, from you, through the spirit, through your intuition. All right. So let's see what else we've got going here. All right. Is there anything else I missed, divine? Let me go to the universe and see what energies universe has. Remember, energies from the universe are not divine usually. They are just the energies and vibrations. The divine is all about your feelings, your emotions, your spirit kind of thing. All right. If there's anything from the universe. Oops, wrong one. Movement. So definitely somebody's moving in the right direction. Somebody is growing in the right direction. Somebody is facing their fears. Somebody literally is facing their fears and they are going to come out ahead. Because the only way to get unfearful of something is to face them. And why? Why are you fearful? So because a lot of that comes from our childhood. And it also comes from us caring too much about what other people think rather than what we need for our journey and our goal. I'm going to say that again. Fear comes from either a childhood trauma or the way that you were taught or the way that you were raised in somebody else's image, maybe. Or it actually comes from you caring too much about what other people think and not what your journey, what the Spirit and God has for your journey. Once you understand that, there will be a little bit of a disruption because you may lose some friends, you may have some friends, or even family. I lost family for a little while till they realized that, oh, she's onto something. But I've had a gift for her since I was a little kid. But when they see that the facts happen after things that I share and say, they're like, how did you know that? How did you know that was going to happen? I don't know. The divine just gives me the gift. I share it when he wants me to share it. However, there is a disruption and you have to be ready for that. And that's where movement comes in. It may come in as baby steps. So when you're facing fear, take it baby step. Take it toe by toe by toe if you have to, but keep moving forward with that. Keep making that happen. All right. So Cancers, that is your reading. Now, last announcement I forgot is that if you're looking for the dailies, if you're one of those that like to watch the dailies, I did stop them. I just didn't get enough feedback, enough comments, enough interest in it. I may bring it back later. However, Divine is having me focus more in on healing, and not for me, but to give time free to you guys. So I'm going to be doing an announcement to have you guys, if you want to book either a spiritual coaching, intuitive coaching, for if you're going through problems, struggles, if you have something on your heart that you just are, it's sort of stuck. So I'm going to devote a week to doing that. It's all free to you guys. So I'm going to make an announcement here shortly when the divine tells me here. And then through that week, you can make a booking for half an hour or an hour, and that's all free. So this is my gift to you because this is what the divine is asking me to do, because he's given me this gift for you. So if you haven't liked, share, subscribed, if you subscribe and hit the bell, then you will know when I'm going to do that announcement. So if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed what you saw, I would be happy for you to just join my little tribe. I guess that's what they call it nowadays. I'm a boomer. I'm like, tribe. What do you mean tribe? If you'd just like to join, do so. And I will see you again on the 11th. For those of you who are new, I do this weekly because the vibrations change depending on which way you decide to go. If the divine tells you to go this way and you go this way, he's got to bring you back and you got to start all over again until you go his way. All right, we will talk to you soon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Love you guys, Cancers. Have a wonderful week.